Yo, what's going on, guys? So we are during the last month of the league, and I have made a lot of currency making strategies this league already. So I decided that during this month I'm gonna try out something different and interesting. So I decided to make basically zero to hero series, where I'm gonna try to make 100 exalts while doing a fresh start on a new character as fast as possible. But I also wanted to keep this challenging, so I decided to also make a set of rules for myself. But also I didn't want to make it too challenging, so I can still have some fun while doing this. And also obviously I wanted to make it a learning experience. So all the rules that I made are based on these basically three, I guess, pillars, which are I wanted to make it challenging, fun, and a learning experience. So I guess first thing is let me talk about the rules that I made for myself. So first, and I think the most important rule, is viewers chose a build for me, because again we didn't want to make it just super easy, so I decided to let my viewers choose a build for me. So during one of the streams we came up with a list of quite a lot of builds, and then we removed the most OP builds from that list. So things like EA Ballista or Seismic Trap was just straight up removed, and we also removed some of the boring ones because again I wanted to keep it fun. So I removed things like Detonate Dead, Cremation. Yeah, these are the ones that I remember. So we ended up with around 10 skills at the end, and then I made a poll on my Discord and people voted for the build that they want to see. Basically a skill, not a build, I guess. And the skill they chose was Spark. So as you can see here, I am playing Spark, and then I chose a build around that skill. So I am playing now the Inquisitor Spark. So that was the first rule. And second rule is I had to start on a new account. So basically I started from 0 on the Atlas and progressing everything, starting from level 1. And the biggest issue with that is that I actually don't have any stash tabs. So because of this, I did allow myself, again because I still wanted to make it fun, I did allow myself to still trade on my other account. So from time to time, when I don't have that much space, I'm just taking stuff from here and I'm trading it to my main account. There I have a prepared stash that doesn't have anything in it, and I'm just trading from that account and using it kind of as a stash, which is still annoying, don't get me wrong, but it is, at least it's some way around the fact that I just don't want to buy additional stash tabs on this account. Also, I cannot do any crafting and any flipping, and all of the strategies I have to do to make the currency have to be based around the Atlas. So I can't do anything like heist, simulacrums, so all of the strategies have to be in the Atlas. So these are basically the main rules, but because of all of these rules and I still wanted to make it fun for myself, I decided to allow myself for one more thing, which is basically skip the campaign, because, well, campaign is just not fun and there's not that much you can learn from it. So I just decided to trade myself a full set of gear for all Hollow Palm, and I did level up to level 70 and basically finished the campaign. And as soon as I finished the campaign, I did throw away all of the gear that I got, and I basically had to buy everything from basically 0. But I guess this also comes with a little bit of advantage, which is I was able to get a little bit of currency before the campaign, but I basically had to do that because, well, when you reach maps and you just have 0 gear, literally every single piece of gear you just have to buy. So I ended up buying everything for around 1C. And most of the currency that I got from the gear that you can see here, and this is, by the way, after almost 9 hours. So basically I finished the campaign so far and did a little bit of white maps and yellow maps. I did spend around 4 to 5 hours for the campaign, around 1 to 2 hours to trade for all of this gear, and then around 2 hours for the mapping. So far, again, I did finish the campaign with Hollow Palm. During the campaign, I started doing Chaos Recipe around level 60. I started doing the Chaos Recipe around level 60, and I actually also got lucky and did drop this Sentinel. This, I actually don't know how lucky it is, but basically this allowed me to get around 15C just from this one Sentinel. And the other 15C I got from doing Chaos Recipe, so I ended up with 30 Chaos once I finished maps. But I guess if you think that it was a bit easy for me because I had Hollow Palm and I could just farm this Sentinel super easy, if I just played Spark, to be honest, I would probably just reach level 70, not kill Kitava, and then just go back to Blood Aqueducts and just farm 11 Blood Aqueducts with this Sentinel super easy and just get the Chaos Orbs anyway, even if I played Spark. So yeah, I basically ended up with 30 Chaos, and most of the gear that you can see here did cost me around 1 to 2C. The most expensive ones are these chests, which I bought for 10C. And I guess we can already start with some kind of tips for starting late into the league, because this challenge is not supposed to simulate like an early league start scenario. It's supposed to simulate when you are starting later on in the league. So first and most important thing I think you should always do when you are starting late in the league, you should always buy your main skill gem as level 20 or 25. Because they are very expensive early on in the league, but if you are starting late, they are actually pretty cheap. So let me show you here. For example, Spark, as you can see, costs only 3 Chaos, and this is already level 1 at 21, and I'm searching for level 20. So with my Spark that I bought for myself, I did have to spend 5C. But I guess one biggest issue is I am starting kinda maybe too late, because now the trade is almost dead. And as you can see here on this trade, this one has been posted 2 days ago, 14 days ago, 2 days. I guess this one is only 9 hours. So when I was buying a lot of stuff, it's just actually hard to buy them, because there's just not that many stuff on the trade nowadays, and most of the stuff people are not even selling. They just have them in their stashes and they're too lazy to trade them. So yeah, but that's my biggest advice. Just always try to buy at least level 20 if you can, for like few Chaos. Second advice is, if you look at the trade and if you, for example, try to buy a Tabula, and that's what most of the people want to buy at the beginning. You can see that Tabula costs around 10 Chaos. But what you can do is you can type the links that you need, and I needed 4 blue, 1 red, 1 green, I believe. No, actually 5 blue. And just basically search for any chest. And as you can see here, there are chests for like 10 Chaos. And this is basically price of Tabula. And then you can use any kind of essence on it, and you're gonna have just straight up better. Doesn't matter what it's gonna have, even if it's gonna give you 1 life, it's already better than Tabula. So it's always worth it to check if you can buy any actual chest. And I bought this one for 10 Chaos, and I used Essence of Greed for life, and I also got some Lightning Grass on it. So that's the chest that I got. So this did cost me 10C, Spark Gem cost me 5C, and everything else I did pay around 1 to 2 Chaos. So this did cost, I believe, 1C, so just some life resist, amulet with +1 lightning gems and dexterity, a ring with life res, another ring with life res and dexterity, scepter with just some lightning damage, crit multi, spell damage, shield with +1 and crit and life, belt, lightning res, and for the gloves I went with Algor Mortis. And I actually got lucky because there was one on trade for 1 or 2 Chaos with Corruption spell crit, which is okay. It's not like crazy good, but it's nice additional thing. But I also can only have 1 socket because it has been corrupted this way, and I don't have any Val Orbs to get more sockets from a crafting bench. And I also went for Voidwalker. So this basically allows me to have Pierce, plus 5 Pierce, so I don't have to use Pierce gem. So right now I'm using faster casting, but probably eventually I'm gonna swap faster casting to Pinpoint, which is gonna give me more single target and a little bit better clear. So in terms of PoB and the build version that I went for, I actually watched a few videos. I watched like 4 Spark guides, and I decided to go with the Goratha one. So if you are wondering in like a full Spark build guide, I would highly recommend watching a Goratha video. And this is gonna be basically my base, and the only thing that I swapped are the boots and the where is it? And the Pierce gem. So obviously, because I'm starting later on in the league, there are some items that I can get that you normally would not be able to get at the league start. So things like the boots, for example. Obviously, they are not like super OP, but they are pretty good early on. So to show you more in terms of my build, I guess I already did Uberlab. Uberlab was actually pretty easy. I had a 3k life and 1k energy shield when I was doing Uberlab, and I had the Sanctuary, Righteous Providence, and Inevitable Judgment. I basically straight up went for crit version, and then with Uberlab I did Pious Path. In terms of tree, this is basically a copy of History, and I went basically here for some lightning damage with crit against shock enemies. Here, effect of non-damaging ailments, because shock and sap, which are both ailments I'm inflicting, both of them are actually pretty good ailments, so increased effect of non-damaging ailments is very important. So I have some here, and I believe somewhere around here. Also, I went already for Intensify because I'm gonna go for Pinpoint anyway. I guess I don't need it yet. I went also for mana cost because mana is actually a big issue for me right now. I am using Clarity, and without Clarity, as you can see, my mana is going down. Pretty soon I'm probably gonna drop it. I'm still using Mana Flask, but pretty soon I'm gonna go for Rings with minus mana cost and the Replica Conqueror efficiency, so I'm not gonna have mana issues anymore. But for now, these are basically the things that I'm using. And yeah, that's basically the tree. Obviously, there's still a lot of improvement. I'm only level 77. I'm probably also gonna go for Timeless Jewel here pretty soon for some additional energy shield. And in terms of like actual goals for the build and big upgrades, I'm probably gonna try to get the Melding Flesh Jewel as fast as possible, because this is gonna basically give me my maximum resistance cap, very easy to increase. So this costs around 3 exalts, so I basically have to get 3 exalts. Then I'm gonna be able to get Aegis Aurora, which gives you 5% max cold res, and with that plus the Purity of Ice, you can get your maximum cold resist actually very high. I guess here I can't show you in this PoB, but basically maybe if I reduce the resist in here. Okay, it's already still too much. Obviously I would have to get more resist because this gives me minus 70 to all res. But basically once you get it, you can get your maximum resist between 85 to 90 pretty easy, depending on how much aura effectiveness you can get, so that your Purity of Ice gives you, instead of 4% additional max cold res, it gives you more. So if you have like 100%, that will give you 8%. So yeah, basically that's what I'm gonna try to go for. And if you have 90% cold res, then basically thanks to Melding Flesh, you're gonna have 90% of fire and lightning, and then Nebulis is gonna give you up to 20% increased cold and lightning damage per maximum increased resistances. So if I'm gonna have 90, that's gonna be basically 15%, 1%, 20% times 15. And because I'm dealing lightning damage, I'm also gonna be able to use the Call of the Brotherhood with Catalyst, preferably Elemental. And with this, you're gonna convert all of your lightning damage to cold damage. So basically, you're gonna double dip. So your Nebulus is gonna give you basically 20 times 15, which is 300% cold damage. Then it's gonna be converted to lightning damage. Then it's gonna be converted to cold, and then it's gonna give you again 300% cold resist. So yeah, that's basically something I'm gonna try to get as fast as possible, but it's still gonna probably take a while. So yeah, as of right now, I did play for around 9 hours, and so far I finished the campaign. I did get my basic gear. Let me actually show you my map right now. Obviously I'm still struggling. I don't have other gems yet. I actually have already 20C, so I'm probably gonna spend this 20C on level 20 gems. And again, I'm gonna get the pinpoint probably. The only issue I have right now is my speed. As you can see, I'm not really moving fast. Damage is actually very nice. As you can see, I'm pretty much one-shotting all of the white monsters. Rare monsters are kind of being two-shotted. Pick up a map. Let me use the Sentinel. Damage is actually very nice. Defenses are okay. They are not like super crazy yet, but I am getting there. And I guess here I can show you the essence. And I'm not gonna go too much into the build, like what are the other gems I'm using and so on. Oh, I guess I died to essence. Essences are still very hard early on in the league. I mean, early on in the build progression. But yeah, in case you are wondering how the build works and so on, you can just watch the Goratha video. I am still not like 100% well informed how to play this build. I'm probably still making a lot of mistakes, so yeah, probably just watch his video. Let me get some life. And this is tier 7, so this is my first tier 7 I did. I actually didn't even do any tier 7 maps so far. But yeah, even though it was a 4 mod essence, it wasn't like crazy hard. But basically, for like single target and for harder monsters, I am using Frost Shield, the Tornado, Sigil of Power, Sniper's Mark. I think I actually forgot to use Sniper's Mark over there, that's why it took me a little bit to kill him. And there's quite a lot of buttons to press, so it is hard to remember all of them. Use Sentinel here. In terms of the strategies, what I'm gonna go for, because I guess this is the most important thing, and think that people are wondering about what I'm gonna do for currency. I'm probably at the start just gonna stick to progressing the Atlas and doing essences and the chaos recipe for a little bit at least, and the Sentinel. So Sentinel, essences, and chaos recipe. These are gonna be my main 3 currency making strategies early on. Once I'm gonna progress Atlas a little bit, then I guess we're gonna see. I do have a few things planned. I'm not like 100% sure what I'm gonna go for, but essences are probably gonna be a big thing early on. At least I'm hoping to be able to kill them. Maybe a little bit of harvest. I guess we'll have to see. Well, I guess the map's almost done. Unlucky that I died. The boss has 20% life. I'm not gonna waste time and run through the entire map just to show you how the map boss is gonna die. So yeah, build is obviously still not finished. I still have issues with it. I probably have to get the timeless jewel for the additional energy shield, also craft on my chest for additional energy shield. There's still a lot of stuff to go for. But yeah, that's gonna be basically it for the video, but I'm gonna progress through all of this on my stream, so if you want to see like a full playthrough, make sure to check out my Twitch channel, which is Zen M. So see you next time.